Hello, dear viewer. What's your favorite song ever? That's a good answer. Good job. I asked my viewers what their favorite song was, and let me tell you, dear viewer, their answer wasn't nearly as good as yours. Your answer is the best answer. Please like the video. I'm going to rank them today, and I'm going to try to be nice. Do note that these tiers are scaled for the sake of, well, everything not being in the GOAT tier. While I may give a song a B tier, that's in the context of the greatest songs ever. It'll come up pretty soon, you'll see. Anyway, let's go. Oz the Capybara 9182 says Time by Pink Floyd. He says the most timeless, beautiful, impressive track I've ever heard. Coming from the GOATs of Pink Floyd, this is their magnum opus. And a haunting masterpiece with the greatest studio recorded guitar solo, in my opinion. Couple key points to address here, Oz. You claim this is their magnum opus. This, I can't agree with. It's top 5, I'd say, but I'm not sure I could get it over something like Wish You Were Here, or even Echoes, or Shine On You Crazy Diamond. Also, the greatest studio recorded guitar solo? This isn't the best ever recorded solo by this band. Comfortably Numb knocks this solo out of the water, out of the park. All that to say, this song is phenomenal and one of my favorites of all time. GOAT tier. Smiles1221 says One by Metallica. Every single riff and line fit together perfectly. Truly, some of their greatest work. I'm going to call this song a smidge overrated. If this isn't your first episode, that may come as a shock to you. I do think this is Metallica's best song, but I'm not sure I'd call it a GOAT in the grand scheme of metal, and certainly not in music. I think it kind of overstays its welcome. It's been a while since I used that one. It's kind of a final trump card for when I don't know what to say, but for real, I think the song does drag a little bit. Where at the start, I think it's an incredibly unique piece of metal. At the end, it kind of divulges into being a pretty generic metal track. I'm going to give this S tier. Jimmy Sanchez says Orion by Metallica. Incredible song, couldn't live without it. Really? I'm genuinely not sure if this is a top 5 song on this record, let alone within their entire discography. It's good, but I really wouldn't go much further. Heavily overshadowed by most other tracks on the Master of Puppets record. I'm going to give this a B tier. Elden Lord 99 says Sleep by Godspeed You Black Emperor. Comfortable GOAT tier response from a man with GOAT tier taste in video games. Please like the video, Elden Lord 99. This song is incredible. Indescribable, to be honest. A must-listen for music fans. One of the most moving pieces of music I've ever heard. This is top of the GOAT tier. No Brain 127 says Earth Mover by Have a Nice Life. Genuinely the best drop I've ever heard. I'm not even sure how to get my point across anymore. Truthfully, I think this song overstays its welcome. But stay with me for a second. The first 6 minutes of this song, some of the greatest music I've ever heard. Beautiful on all fronts, an indescribably beautiful way to close an album as dark as Death Consciousness is. The next 6 minutes, though, is just a distorted riff for that whole length of time, and to be honest, I get bored. Still an absolutely incredible song and a GOAT shoo-in. But that's why I have it behind a song like Sleep, where I think every single moment is used to perfection on that track. This is GOAT tier behind Sleep. Alex James 4304 says Close to the Edge by Yes. 20-minute otherworldly journey that is mind-bogglingly beautiful. There are segments of this song I absolutely adore, but I can't give the strong double thumbs up to this entire track. I really like aspects of this song, but there are parts here that just, well, god damn it, they overstay their welcome. Really profound song, though. I can't imagine the drugs in the room required to write something this insane. This is top of the S tier. Will Schulz says Weird Fishes by Radiohead. I feel this is borderline common knowledge. I've never met a Weird Fishes hater in my life that I thought knew music. It's such a beautiful track, instrumentally of course, but even lyrically I find the song so cathartic, so powerful. Definitely one of the best songs I've ever heard. GOAT tier behind Sleep. Evil Icicle says Shine On You Crazy Diamond, parts 1 through 5 by Pink Floyd. I touched on it earlier, I think. I don't know. I took a break. But this is my pick for one of the best Pink Floyd songs ever. This or Dogs. This shit is magic. A beautifully touching tribute to Syd Barrett, and just a really well-written track, man. A really slow burner. But man, when this song picks up, it's genuinely magical. Top of the GOAT tier. Simon Demetz 8163 says The Burger Song from Teen Titans Go. This is too cold of a take, I fear. Obviously, I exclude this song in typical rankings I do, so as not to embarrass any other artists, but you forced my hand today, Simon. I don't know what to do with this. That's the whole bit I wrote. Beats here, I'm fairly confused. Sharpster 2232 says Comfortably Numb Live in Pompeii by Pink Floyd. Genuinely watching David Gilmour ascend on stage is a crazy experience I wish I could hear for the first time again. Sharpster 2232, I'd like to thank you. Actually, let me preface this. I'm pretty high. This is the sickest shit I've ever seen. Comfortably Numb, an actual greatest song of all time contender, performed by the greatest guitarist of all time at the ripe age of some 80-something, I think? And it nearly brought a tear to my eye. What an actual magical performance. Unbelievably good. Listen to this. Better yet, watch this. Watch a master at work. GOAT tier. Behind Weird Fishes. Real Monologue says Supper's Ready by Genesis. He says, sit down and focus on nothing but the music and the story while listening in the dark of night, and you will feel like you lived an entire lifetime in 20 minutes, described by the band as a movie for the ears. Life-changing stuff. I've got to be honest, I think this song is a much cooler idea than it ends up being. I won't say I was uninterested, but man, this song just kind of did too much, man. I respect its ambition, and maybe it'd be better on a re-listen, but on my first listen, this isn't really what I was hoping for. I'm gonna go A tier. Drift Hazard 4452 says, Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden. Fellas, this track is overrated. Uncomfortably so, almost. I boil this band down to some really good metal. A solid 8 out of 10 for me, for almost any Iron Maiden song worth its salt. I've just never heard this band do what a lot of their peers are able to do, and that is completely knock my socks off my feet. Death, Gojira, Tool, Opeth, all big names in prog metal, and all names I would listen to every single day over Iron Maiden. I'm going to give this B tier slightly above the Burger song. Z-Milch says Beach Life and Death by Car Seat Headrest. It's a 17-year-old rambling about his emotions for 13 minutes. It never gets boring. Has at least 3 insanely good melodies and dozens of quotable lines. The way you described it made it sound miserable. I don't want to listen to a 17-year-old ramble about his emotions for 13 minutes, but this was pretty damn good. Some really fantastic instrumentation. The lyrics get a little silly at some points, though there are some really great lines in here as well. I'll give you that. And the vocals here I liked a lot. This is great stuff. Back of the GOAT tier. WOK Nows says Lateralis by Tool. A man after my own heart. Top of the GOAT tier. Maynard19 says The Predatory Wasp of the Palisades is Out to Get Us by Sufjan Stevens. One of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. This was pretty sensational right here. Really beautiful track. I agree with Maynard here. Back of the GOAT tier. Dumjan says The Rain Song by Led Zeppelin. This is a great track, but your favorite ever? I can't agree, Dumjan. This is a really beautiful track, but I feel like Led Zeppelin has even done this softer style better on tracks like Stairway to Heaven. I really do enjoy this track. This is fantastic, but not quite a GOAT, I don't think. Back of the S tier. Donovan L1130 says How to Disappear Completely by Radiohead. Ridiculously beautiful song. I tried to limit the Radiohead I'd put in this video. It's just too safe of an answer, I think. But fuck, is this song just uncomfortably good. Comfortably the peak of the band's catalog. This is a free GOAT tier, right behind Tool. Ether Knight 1 says Cassandra Gemini by the Mars Volta. This is 32 minutes long. 32. This was really good at points. Really, really good at some points. But my god, it overstays its fucking welcome. I really feel like this could have been 10 minutes shorter and just as good, man. I appreciate the transitions and the ambition this track has, but I can't say I was captivated this entire track's length. Top of the A tier. Jackal1 says Angel by Massive Attack. Horace Andy sings and makes you feel the angel he's talking about. It's pretty alright, man. I don't know. I like a lot of this album, but this track specifically doesn't really do all that much for me. It's good, but not really a highlight of the record in my mind. Certainly not of the genre. A tier. Above Genesis. Super Dude says The Last Baron by Mastodon. Rest in peace, Brent Hintz. Man, this song is fantastic. Easily the highlight of this band's discography for me. Some really profound lyricism here. The vocals on this track, just incredible, man. This is what Iron Maiden thinks they are. This is peak. Behind Time in the GOAT tier. Bruce McCrory says Mother I Sober by Kendrick Lamar. I'm a big fan of Mr. Lamar, but this isn't the track I would pick here. It's damn good and a beautiful moment in Kendrick's career, and to be honest, a very necessary one. But I can't give this track the edge over tracks like Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, or Wesley's Theory, or Mad City. It's a great track, but not one of the best in his own catalog, certainly not in the grand scheme of music. Back of the S tier. Jamie23 says Human Sadness by The Voids. Not a well-known one, but The Voids is Julian Casablanca's side band, and they are extremely underrated in my opinion. Human Sadness did change my life, and it's probably my favorite song of all time. Sorry for the yap, but I would really appreciate it if you listen to it. I've got good news and bad news, Jamie23. The bad news... my socks are still on my feet. The good news, I think it's kind of a me problem here. I see the appeal of this track, and I really enjoy segments of this track, but a lot of this feels incredibly overproduced, especially the vocals at points. I respect this answer, though. I'd still shake your hand. Top of the A tier. Gabriel Loves Rock says Pictures of You by The Cure. The story behind it is pretty crazy. Check it out. This song makes me sad. That's all I have written down here. Stupid dumbass didn't come back to this part of the script. What an asshole. Audible GOAT tier behind Car Seat Headrest. Daniel Kassler 3868 says Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Probably not the greatest song ever, but one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard for sure. Lyrics, instrumentation, emotional voice, goated on all fronts. Really sweet track, I like it, but like you said, Daniel, this isn't the greatest shit ever. I do adore the lyricism here. Mr. Resnick does a fantastic job vocally, but there's just not really enough here to call it a goat, I don't think. It needs a little more oomph. Back of the A tier. Jack the Ace 1337 says As by Stevie Wonder. You know what? I'll be honest. I think there are several better picks off this record alone, and several more in his entire discography. This is a great song, an iconic song, and I suppose a legendary song, but it's not my favorite melody of Mr. Wonder's. Really fantastic song still, but not my favorite. I'm going S tier, behind Yes. Milford Bow 1728 says What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Really fantastic track, deserving of its legendary status. My experience with Mr. Gay, nice, is pretty brief, but this entire album, top to bottom, is unequivocally a masterpiece. Great pick. I'm going above Earth Mover in the GOAT tier. Scandy6898 says I Appear Missing by Queens of the Stone Age. I heard the song for the first time on stream a couple weeks back. I stream every Friday and Saturday at 11 o'clock EST, by the way. And holy fuck, is this song incredible. Seriously, one of the greatest tracks I've ever heard in my life on every front. This is a masterpiece. GOAT tier, behind Weird Fishes. Multi-BLT says The Argus, live in Chicago by Ween. You Had Me at Ween, multi-bacon lettuce tomato. This is one of my favorite songs ever. Though I must painstakingly admit, I prefer the studio rendition here. I think the vocals are actually improved upon live. Jeaner's an animal and shit like that. But I prefer the production on the studio track. The layered vocals in the final segment, the guitar sounds a bit cleaner in the studio. I give the studio the edge. All that to say GOAT tier. Anyway, sorry for the speech. GOAT tier, above Earth Mover. Thickboy0727 says, Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips. I've been diving into this band quite a bit recently, and this is the song I've been most disappointed with, to be honest. I've heard great things, and I think it's pretty good, but that's all I'd really say. I give the edge to the Flight Tests, Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, Are You a Hypnotist? Just 3 tracks off that same record. It's good, and the lyricism is really sweet, perhaps the sweetest on the record. But I'm really not interested in the instrumentation on this track. It's good, but it's not great, I don't think. A tier, behind Genesis. Marcel McNowski, 7212, says Better Man by Pearl Jam. This is one of the better Pearl Jam tracks, that's for sure. Honestly, I like this answer a lot. You could have hit me with Black and given me post-traumatic stress, but this song is a far more lighthearted, yet still solemn track. I think Eddie Vedder does a fantastic job on this song. One of the few tracks I can actually understand for about 80% of the time. And I mean, those are historical numbers, dear viewer. I really do like this song a lot. Great answer, but I don't think I can get it up there with the biggest dogs here. I'm going back of the S tier. That's all I have written here. Short one, I know, sorry. I had no ideas on this Monday morning, so I pulled out the easiest trick in my book. I hope you enjoyed. Please press every available button beneath this video. That is the subscribe button, the like button, and the hype button. Do not press the dislike button. Thanks for watching. Peace.